Welcome to the Business Benchmark Group podcast, where you'll learn how to think strategically about your business and discover that while business is not easy, it doesn't need to be hard. With over 20 years experience in turning stalling businesses into thriving enterprises, here is your host, Stefan Kazakis, the founder and CEO of Business Benchmark Group.
Hi, I'm Stefan Kazakis and welcome to this week's episode of our Business Benchmark Group's podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be sharing an interview that was shared at the later stages of 2018 with a phenomenal husband and wife team, Rob and Rose Seymour from Pure Protect. Rob and Rose run a business that's focused on, they're specialists in mould, damp, water damage and indoor air quality solutions. They deliver a powerful high-value hygiene and infection control solution to industries where health and safety are paramount. They've been a client of ours for approximately 18 months when this interview took place. And I guess in the 18 months journey, when we look at the snapshot and the from-tos, their progression, which has been phenomenal in the areas such as their average dollar sale has grown by over 250%. Their quote register, the effort that they put into attracting their ideal customer and ensuring that they keep them engaged and continuously moving forward, progressing to the point where they become customers, has grown by over 100%. That quote register was $67,000 a month on average when they joined Board of Directors 12 and Business Benchmark Group, and currently averages at over $135,000. Their work in progress has grown by over 1,000%. Their weekly revenue has grown over 100%. And all in all, their total employment cost versus revenue ratio has decreased by 60%, whilst their team headcount has grown by 150%. Now, when you think about it, it all starts with being really clear on what it is that you are serving to the precise target market, and you get to grow your quote register by over 100% time on time every other day. You will, as long as you're following a very precise and structured and disciplined process, you will convert more, but most importantly, you'll be attracting the clients that you deserve. So Pure Protect and what they demonstrate in this interview and what they share with us and our community at Business Benchmark Group is an ideal and perfect pivot in a business that was caught up for, a long time doing business with clients and customers that were never, ever going to be okay with Pure Protect in making profit. So they needed to go 2 steps backwards to go 4 steps forward. And in every business, at every stage, in every economy, and in every, stage of your business, you need to continuously be evolving and moving forward with, who is your ideal customer and how is it that you're pivoting your messaging and your cut-through messaging and ultimately attraction strategy for them. So Rob Seymour, Rose Seymour, Pure Protect, an organisation that's based in Sydney and is a benchmark business. Enjoy. Thanks. So I know you don't do this for a living. You don't go around and share and ultimately share to a level where, there's a lot of confidential information, and as a community, and this is why this event is for our clients, guys. It literally is about 5 or 6 guests in this room that we have trusted through previous conversations and parts of our journey with them at Business Benchmark Group for them to be in this room. The sharing that we just put out there is not about anything other than just this could be possible for everyone, and in many cases it is. So can you provide a brief overview of the business and where it started and why, from a very successful prior business, you started this one?
Yeah, well, we actually this business started as a product-oriented company. We'd sold a business in 2007. We'd sort of gone around the world looking for the next great thing to do, and we found this product that was targeted for the mould industry in the USA. And we secured some rights to manufacture and sell that product in Australia. And we sort of built a little network of distributors under a franchise banner originally. And we saw the potential of the mould remediation industry just through this product. We decided that we were giving away too much of an opportunity and sort of brought it all back, and have developed our skill set so that we've got, today we are mould remediators, we're licensed builders, we fix water damaged buildings which cause mould in homes and buildings. And we work with a number of segments of the market, but the real opportunity that we've uncovered in the last couple of years, and particularly in the last 12 months as we've been working with you, is working with people who are suffering mould illness. And these people, the events that have happened in their home or their workplace are not insured events, so we're not working for an insurer that wants us to do something for nothing. We're working with people who are very sick. In many cases, they can't function, brain function's gone, flat on their back, and so it's a high value proposition that we're bringing to them.
Brilliant, love that. And the distinction is, there are multiple areas you could have focused, but you made a commercial decision. We're going this way, not that way, which is serving you. Fantastic. What were the crossroads? I mean, you seasoned business owners. We don't need to go into detail with what you had previously, but it was a very successful, business in numbers and profit and team size. But what were the crossroads? I mean, what would someone, I guess, at your level of entrepreneurial spirit and business acumen, what were your crossroads when you, knocked on our door in July 2007 when we first met?
Well, we were frustrated. I see the sign there talking about people who are frustrated and fatigued and so on. I mean, we knew we'd uncovered a good business opportunity. We knew we had our business to that point was going okay, but we saw this new opportunity, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what we should do with it. Whether we'd take off down that track, and all of a sudden some big guy would come along and steal it from you or whatever. So I just didn't have the self-belief that the opportunity that I was seeing was actually real. So Rose was a big part of encouraging me. Rose, my wife and business partner, but she was encouraging me. She's the optimist. I'm probably a little bit more sceptical, but she saw that as that opportunity and just pushed me and said, you need to get some mentoring, basically, get some help and some guidance.
But over and beyond that, what did you realise was your business upside? What was the money on the table? Although you may not have defined it at that point, but you needed to not waste years in trying to do it in a half-believed, identity.
Well, we saw. So what had happened in the background is environmental science and medical science had sort of found, we could do DNA analysis on a building and determine that the person who was occupying that space was sick because of the building. So you can't, what is that number? It's massive. And when 25% of the population are genetically predisposed to mould illness, again, you sort of put your mind around that number and you work out, well, you can't even measure it. So we knew it was a big opportunity, and it was just really...
How do we clone you, really?
Yeah.
We had to clone Rob.
How do we clone Rob?
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing. He's a good-looking rooster.
Thanks, mate.
But with all the knowledge that he had and experience he had in this field, how do we... You don't find someone, you can't just employ someone with that experience.
And it's also that classic situation, Rose, where the business owner in most cases, or the leader, has everything in their head, and the belief and trust issue steps in, and maybe if I share it with someone or train someone, they'll become your competitor and blah blah blah. And we had to break that glass ceiling, didn't we?
Absolutely.
That whole lonely and where my time goes glass ceiling, which impacts all of us, I guess, including me. At some point, you need to. How do I not just look for a clone, but just trust my process?
Yeah. And then look, it was really about us getting people. We had a small team, and we've just, I guess, sort of getting our minds engaged and actually recognising and quantifying the opportunity to some extent, it was then that gave us the confidence to go and recruit people.
So from a glass ceiling perspective, Rob, and Rose, you can certainly chime in here as well. When you think about a year and a bit ago, what was your defined glass ceiling? What would you say it is? It was, because it's not no longer.
Yeah, it was. We didn't understand the full opportunity a year ago. It's become clearer to us as we've spent more time, with people in the US and, understanding, what we're dealing with a little bit more. But I don't know what the revenue top side is. It's, 50 million is probably understating it. If you look at, the medical and the environmental science, it's massive. Like in the US, they say, that 50% of the buildings in the USA are affected by water and have an environmental risk for a percentage of the population. So, we know what we deal with here. We know how many buildings are water damaged. We deal with brand new buildings that are water damaged and people can't live in them. We deal with old homes that are in the same. So, I'd like to think that in the next 2 years we'll double our size in terms of turnover, and we're not holding that back. We are chasing that.
So Rose, from your perspective, having watched Rob, I guess, evolve over the last year and a bit into the leader he is, what would you say were the glass ceilings that Rob and the business needed to break through?
I think him backing himself was the biggest thing. I mean, we knew it was there. Look, I'm a realist, and I was pushing him and going, look, there is believe in yourself. We can do this. It's there. Let's do it. What's holding you back? If it's your belief, we're here as a team. Let's go for it. Let's work out how we do that.
And I think there's a sobering point that you've just made, that you just don't need it all, but you need that first step to be more precise. And thinking about that first step and the breakthroughs for you, and the numbers are just stunning, and I know they're continuing to be. But when you think about that being a reflection of your strategic work and your operational work, but more importantly, your belief. And now our team is growing. Let's talk about the team. What are some of the systems, the processes, the leverage points that don't have you under people's homes or on top of people's roofs at the ripe old age of 32 with a bad back? So let's think about what have you actually gone to work on regarding your leverage points, and how challenging or straightforward has that been? Yeah.
Look, the number one thing that we've had to do is to get our staff certified. Because of the industry we work in, there's an industry body, it's an international body that certifies people that do what we do. And so all of our staff have gone through that certification, which is expensive. It's time consuming because, it's a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks training for these guys, plus their own time. So, getting those guys through that. Then secondly, really digging in and saying, well, okay, what kind of systems we've got a building component to our business, we've got a restoration component to our business. What kind of system do we need to manage the back end primarily, or from, the CRM through the fulfillment end of it? And so, we started looking around. We've brought in a system called SimPro, which covers all of those things well for us. It's really designed for service-based, trades businesses, and it works well for us. We're still in the early stages of putting that through the business, but that's crucial for us, so we can manage time in the field, quality in the field, getting all of our safe work method statements, the JSA is all signed off in the field by guys who are going on site.
Because some of our issues at the beginning was we couldn't get to our clients quick enough. Like, someone's sick in their home or there's a leak in the home, you need to action it within 24 hours.
Definitely.
Right. We didn't have staff with all that knowledge and expertise that could go and do all these jobs, and we were just, we were letting clients down because we couldn't get there quick enough. And Rob, you can only do so many hours in a day. Like, you can go there and do the assessment, but if you can't follow up with everything after that for weeks.
And you could have the best marketing machine in the world,
Yeah.
but if the first experience a future customer has is a bad one, you got no chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's money down the drain. So that's a really good point, because I feel we've so revolutionised that choke point. We've so moved that forward. And when it comes to the people management system, the empowering of your people system, let's talk about that, because to me, not only in my own business and businesses over many years, I know that
Yep.
in conjunction and alignment with being a better quality provider, delivered by better quality people, is the right combination, right? So talk to me about the people management system and your personal, I guess, the empowerment part of that.
Yeah. So what we have done is defined our vision, like who is our customer and what are we about, and we've communicated that through the team. I mean, it's a relatively small team, but everyone buys into the vision for the business and what that means for our clients. So we want to be the guide for our clients to sort of lead them from that, the hurdles that they're facing, whether it's their illness or the water damage problem that they've got in the building. So communicated the vision, and then it's the follow-up in the field. So I'm meeting with my project managers on sites twice a week on those key sites, and just going through, what the scope is and how we're going against the scope, and just that communication side has been crucial.
Has it been easy for you?
No, it's not, because you've got a million things going on, and a lot of people want you pulling you all sorts of directions. But at the end of the day, if you want to deliver a good outcome for that, or whoever your client is, you need your people on the ground to be bought into what it is that they've got to deliver.
So again, I just want to hone on this for a couple of moments now. Your personal beliefs regarding, am I good enough? Why me? Why is this opportunity mine? I don't know. Should I? Shouldn't I? And it's not, everyone goes through it.
Yeah.
But your level of that, and then having to bring what are great A-graders along with you, who are sort of sitting on the sidelines saying, hey, what about us?
Yeah.
Help us understand how we can help you more. Breaking through that glass ceiling. I mean, I just want you to hone in on that for a moment, right? The challenge that you had would have been about 5-6 months ago to say, you know what, stuff it.
Yeah.
It was after your profit blueprint when we worked on that together, coming back and just really laying that on the table and saying, okay, I'm taking the risk.
Yeah.
What's happened since you actually did that at a higher level? Not just on site, we're talking in the office now.
Yeah, well, like my whole mindset around my business has changed, and Rose has really encouraged me to, break through those, that self-doubt that this is too good to be true kind of thing, so you don't deserve it, or all those kinds of things. So, yeah, the enthusiasm around the business for what the business is just growing. I mean, we still work really hard. There's no early nights, but
and also your knowledge and his worth to his clients. And I don't say that as a showy thing, but he's got a lot of expertise in that area of helping people, and so we did have to redefine our business a bit. Like, you start off as a small business and you grab at everything that comes your way, and we did that for a while just because you start at somewhere. Then we decided that we couldn't cope with everything that was getting thrown at us, and so we decided that we would not do free quotes anymore, because we were offering
So you don't do what?
free quotes. So we would, and it has, from stopping that, it has grown our business hugely.
Absolutely.
Hugely. Not just on a time perspective, but for the quality of work and how we can help people.
Now, we're going to open up to question and answers in about 11 and a half minutes' time. There's at least 7 of you in this room that need to ask, how do we do free quotes? I'm just putting it out there right now, right?
Yeah, we did that for a long time, and then we just, we went from, doing a free quote to charging $850 an hour to go to a site and do a building assessment. So obviously had great financial implications for the business. But
you repositioned the language.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
So that was innovation at its highest level.
Yeah.
And we'll flick over, nice segue. So the whole pivot, the whole business pivot, the whole customer service elevation, the whole team building focus, internal, external, because teams also your strategic partners.
Yep.
So when you think about those three key moving points, some are vertical and deep, others are horizontal and lifting.
Yeah.
When you think about the pivot that the business has made, specifically in we are in this segment for this customer, what are the 1, 2, 3 things that from a room perspective you can say this and this is exactly what we did and this is why we're on a clear path to continual improvement?
I think the number one thing was that we actually stopped and looked at where we were. You know, what were we as a business? You know, where were things? How was the money flow? What was the people position? And what was the opportunity? And so stopping and assessing was the first thing that we did, and that was certainly with, you know, your guidance. But you know, we were getting to that point already ourselves. But so then making the necessary changes. So, you know, just saying
Was that tough?
Yeah, it was, because one of the things, the first thing you think of is that, you know, if I stop doing that, it's going to have a massive revenue implication, and, you know, we're going to go down the drain, you know, in 6 months, or the pipeline's going to dry up. And it just wasn't that at all. It's
And
changed.
dealing with people as well, which is hard.
Well, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with, I guess, the unknown,
Yeah.
and you're dealing with, I guess, okay, well, how much opportunity is there in that part of the market? So it's always a challenge when you do that. I guess when you did ultimately choose that ideal, which was that more medical, focus for your business, how easy was it to go and build strategic partners, as in whether they were doctors or hospitals, on that journey with you?
Yeah, that's been a progression, and I guess we were fortunate that one of our early clients in that space was a surgeon, and he couldn't function because his house was water damaged, and so we delivered a good result for that surgeon, and that family became our best advocate, and that opened up. So they referred us to other people in a similar situation, and then that started to flow on to doctors, and so now we have, you know, building biologists who go in and diagnose buildings. We have integrated doctors who are helping heal these people who are affected, just feeding us the opportunity. So
Huge percentages word of mouth.
it's massive.
When you're an expert, your marketing dollars go down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hugely.
So well done again. You know, just a risk.
Yeah.
You actually went out, you proved it, and you're building it and improving it. So an amazing sequence in the pivot there. I guess where do you think your business will be in 12 to 24 months' time?
I think our plan is to double our revenue over the next 2 years. What's crucial to that is we know the opportunity's there. You know, the pipeline is indicated, our pipeline, our quote register is leading us in that direction. What's crucial for us achieving that is going to be getting our people.
And investing in training.
Yeah.
So growing the people.
Yeah, growing the people.
Excellent. So again, so that's what you see in 12 to 24 months' time. Do you see an opportunity for merger, acquisition, bolt-on, I guess, in terms of, you know, again, staying very true to the core?
Yep.
We don't need to be bright, shiny object yet.
Yeah. There are definite opportunities for us to acquire businesses that are aligned with what we're delivering. You know, we've considered one, or we are considering one, that would fit snugly with what we do, and, you know, they're already a subcontractor, so we spend considerable money with them, so it would be worth bringing them into, you know, acquiring them. So we'll see what happens.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way, again, how much time do you have a week, Rob and Rose, to critical thinking? How much a week do you have in your default diary, in your working week, devoted to critical thinking regarding your business, of course?
Yeah. So I have 2 hours in my diary weekly for critical thinking. Usually I get to about an hour and a half and things are going AWOL around you, or the phones are. But I'm probably a 7 out of 10 in terms of that discipline.
Love that score.
But it's been invaluable for me. It's just taking that clear-headed time and working on it.
Well, in my eyes, you're a 10 out of 10 in your progress and your clarity and your confidence and the declutter. You've decluttered what was a noisy situation a year and a bit ago, and you're on trend for more than a double up in top line and definitely middle line. You run a lean business, so your bottom line, as long as you don't go and buy an unnecessary Lamborghini yet.
It's a Hilux.
Yeah, it's all right if it was, mate. It's the yet thing. I mean, at some point you can. But it just feels to me that, your feet are on the ground. You've been in business a long time, and you're still open to, okay, what else and what could be, and what am I protecting? What's the risk I'm mitigating? So, what are 3 tips that you could give to small business owners that are, I guess, at a point where money is on the table, their business upside is there, there's a bit more clarity for it, but they just, for whatever reason, just feel it's 3 feet away from that gold? What's 3 tips you have for those business owners?
Well, look, I think you've got to believe in yourself. If you're in the room, you're obviously doing something good, something well. So back yourself, but always take time to just evaluate where you're at. Take the time to, look at where you are and where the opportunities are. And if you have an opportunity in front of you, take it, grab it. If it fits with the business, grab it.
Yeah, brilliant. And I guess as a husband and wife and a business partner team that's just continuously leaning onto each other, into each other for good and bad and progressive reasons, Rose, how would you, if I was to ask you what is the level of quality of life right now, what would you say to that?
Look, it's good. It's good. We're not always. Rob's always the boss, and I'm happy for him to be the boss. And we're not always in the office together. So, although we're always working together, Rob might be in the office twice a week or an hour here and there or whatever. So, we're certainly not on top of each other all day long. So, look, it works well. I know it doesn't work for a lot of people, but hey, it works.
But as far as the quality of life stuff, I mean, you guys travel a fair bit. You're having fun.
Yeah, children are older. We can, freedom back again, really. Yeah.
Rob, what would you say to quality of life?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting plenty of time to do a bit of travelling, and the best thing about it, I guess where we're at now, is that the financial weight is not there. We've certainly got. There's reasonable cash flow to actually take time and look at the business, which leads to a better quality of life, I think, if you're not worrying.
But when you're in small business, you never leave it. It's always there. It's 24/7, and you have to accept that. And you either accept it and, I won't say enjoy it, but, it's the word I'm trying to say. Look,
work with it.
You work with it, and yeah.
Yeah, you don't
it's
fight.
not a negative. It's not a negative.
Yeah, but by fighting it, the energy goes negative. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, mate, thank you very much. Thank you, Rob and Rose. And questions in the room? Any questions in the room?
Stefan was talking about empathy, and we struggled here to talk about it. But when we started to talk about your clients or patients and the medical condition, plus you're fixing up the physical, can you enlarge on the empathy? Because you changed your voice when you talked about it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, well.
We have our counselling hat on a lot.
Yeah, we are. A lot of our clients are really sick people, and so, they're dealing with medical issues that are debilitating, and so, you're having to be, our job is to. I'm not a doctor. I don't try and fix their medical condition, and we make a very defined line with that, because I don't give medical advice ever. But we go and characterise the building. We look at their home, and we determine what's wrong and what has to be done to fix it. And because of the condition these people are in, you are having to be empathetic. You have to understand something about their illness, and often it's their doctors that have referred us to them. So, we're not just walking in there with hammers and saws and
What a great relationship you've got, eh?
yeah.
It's fantastic, isn't it, Graham?
Yeah,
just brilliant.
what possibilities is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these clients, we spend a lot of time in their homes.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And it does bring home that set of words there where understanding and having enough authority to know you do have a hammer and a tong, not a stethoscope and a knife to cut people. You're there to cut their problem in their home, not in their body.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great distinction. Well done, Graham. Any other questions? Should be a few questions here.
How do you manage the health and safety of your own team and like yourself
Yep.
dealing with hazardous?
Yeah, so that all comes down to our training and our certification. So we have our own specifications for our staff in terms of what they've got to wear when they're dealing with these buildings, and then there are the certifications that our guys, so the training that our guys undergo from part of their certification, which is all about safety analysis. And so, yeah, our guys are commonly working with respirators, full suits, gloves, that kind of stuff. So.
With your staffing and your growth of your staff, we were having a discussion earlier, it's quite hard to find younger people who want to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Considering you have training and all these kind of things, do you have a set sort of quality of person that you're looking for, or do you have to sort of broaden your horizons and see if you can bring them in line with your values?
Yeah, well, look, we've been working through that very point very recently. You know, we went to the market to try and find certified mould remediators, and there's just none. You know, it's not a big industry, and so there's not lots of them around. So we've just got to the point, you know, in the last couple of weeks where we've decided that we're just going to find people with the good attitude and invest in those people. So the number one thing we're looking for now is young, smart people who aspire to be in the industry. Like, you know, most people who wouldn't even, you know, probably like most of the room here probably didn't understand a lot about what we do, and it's the same for prospective employees. We've just got to find people who are enthusiastic and have the right attitude, and then invest in them, and hopefully they stay with you.
The second question. Yeah.
Well, speaking about what you do, I just wanted to clarify. You make the assessment in the report, and then do you offer to execute what's required by subcontractors, or do you just provide the report?
No, we will do a building assessment, and we will leave it up to the client to fulfil what needs to be done, or we offer to do it for them. So we have two distinct parts to our business. One is our remedial building side, which only works on water damaged buildings, and then we have our restoration side, which is all about the clean-up. So we'll, you know, to put it crudely, demolish, clean up and restore the building. So we'll do both streams of work.
You guys do that, your employees? Or
Yes.
subcontractors?
Yeah, our employees. I mean, we have a few subcontractors,
But every site has a team leader
Yep.
that belongs to the business.
yeah.
And we
At a
manage
minimum.
all of that. We manage all the subbies and manage their home.
I guess in the last couple of answers, and judging by the questions that are coming, is again just going back to being really clear. Who are you, what do you do, and who do you do it for, so that you can build the team that can deliver with all its tools and training and onboarding processes. The relevance of getting your positioning so tight cannot be underestimated to the flow of your total business. Cannot be underestimated. And how much money is left on the table when you do one part and not the other part. If you do lead flow, which is the sales and marketing arm, well, but you do operations and workflow wrong because you haven't kept an eye on the organisational chart evolution side of things, that becomes a significant money on the table issue. So I love the questions and the answers. I just thought it's important to just make sure that everyone understands this is a step by step set out plan that for all of us no different to Pure Protect, need to be, as owners and leaders in our businesses, responsible for. Thank you. Round of applause. Well done. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Hi, I'm Stefan Kazakis from Business Benchmark Group, and it was really, I guess, how positive was that interview in terms of the progress from to that Rob and Rose from Pure Protect, a business that's based in Sydney, has been a client of ours since, I guess, the middle of 2017. And their outcomes, their progression, not only on a business level, but also on a personal level, has been nothing other than just simply stunning, just phenomenal. Love working with clients like that, and we have so many of them in our community. It's really encouraging, and we love what we do here at Business Benchmark Group. But I guess I want to touch on that little point that Rob spoke about regarding, personal belief and how his mindset changed in his business, and how enthusiastic about the opportunities of growth and continued momentum and bringing more of his team into the play. And as Rose shared, the support of, I guess, the leadership team to the day-to-day team, and how that's becoming closer and much more aligned than ever before. But I guess, we've got Your Profit Blueprint coming up in the next several weeks, and what an awesome time that is. It's a line in the sand as far as a brand new year, a calendar year is concerned. And we do this twice with all our clients in our business community, and they bring the next best persons from their team to attend and get on that journey of strategic planning, which ultimately confirms where is the activity, where is the execution, how is it that we're going to measure, how is it that we're going to stay accountable to what we said we will do, what is working, what is not working, what are we going to do about that. We leave nothing to chance, and it's so simple. And the more repetitive that process becomes, the higher the yields, the 100s and the 1000% improvements start occurring when you really get good at being very clear about what you need to be disciplined and focused and consistent with. And when you really think about what it is that we do here at Business Benchmark Group, we're a force that's ultimately your sounding board, and we leave nothing to chance. We leave nothing that doesn't need to be discussed, that should be discussed. And ultimately we are, I guess, on your team, on your strategic team, to keep that accountability, that momentum, that progression. And very often in business, we need to go 2 steps backwards to go 4 steps forward. Not everyone is experienced and rehearsed in how that happens. And here at Business Benchmark Group, this is what we do. This is our expertise. This is our authority. We do it with hundreds of business owners on a monthly basis. And we look forward to you, I guess, in our community members at Business Benchmark Group, to reach out to your next best business owner friend. And if they're in a position where they have 5 or more people on their team, full-time employees, bring them along as your guests to our Your Profit Blueprint. That would be really cool to keep on expanding our community. And that's our intention here at Business Benchmark Group for 2019. We're going to expand our community. We're going to continue to add value and make a real, genuine, authentic and non-negotiable difference for every one of you, just as we just heard we have in Rob and Rose's life at Pure Protect in Sydney. I'm Stefan Kazakis, where we empower business owners to achieve continuous business and life success.
For more information about Business Benchmark Group's coaching, education and training programs, visit businessbenchmarkgroup.com.au or call 039001 0878. If you liked this podcast, please rate it on iTunes, Stitcher or SoundCloud, and leave feedback as well. Stefan shares so much value in all his podcasts, and we encourage you to go through the archives and listen to other episodes of the Business Benchmark Group podcast. Thank you for listening.